10 Things No One Told Me About Being Child Free in My 40s. That's the title, and that's exactly what we're diving in today. Being child free in your 40s, living solo, and retired early. It's not the story most people expect, but it's mine. And if you've ever wondered what life really looks like when you're child free in your 40s, I'm going to share the 10 things no one told me, the surprises, the perks, and the lessons I've learned along the way. So, quick backstory. I've had a few different careers: teaching, pharmacy, call center work, and each one left me drained in different ways. I eventually leaned into FIRE, the financial independence and early retirement movement, because I wanted freedom more than anything. And part of that freedom came from a choice I made early on. I wasn't going to have kids. I wasn't going to wait for a partner to validate my decisions or my existence. That choice shaped everything about how my 40s look today. The first thing no one told me about being child free in my 40s is people assume you'll regret it. No one told me how often people would project regret onto me. In reality, though, I feel relief and clarity. The second thing no one told me about being child free in my 40s is your expenses are radically different. Without kids, my budget looks nothing like my peers. That's part of why early retirement was possible. The third thing no one told me about being child free in my 40s is time feels expansive. I don't have school schedules or family obligations. My time is mine for travel, creativity, or just rest. The fourth thing no one told me about being child free in my 40s is community matters more. Moving to Tulsa through Tulsa Remote taught me that intentional community fills the gaps people assume only family can. The fifth thing no one told me about being child free in my 40s is decision making is simpler. I don't negotiate with a partner or plan around kids or their schedules or their activities. My three-part framework is curiosity, community, and connection, and I use that to guide my decisions. The sixth thing no one told me about being child free in my 40s is identity questions never stop. People love to ask, but why no kids? Why are you still single? No one told me how often you'd have to explain yourself. The seventh thing no one told me about being child free in my 40s is freedom feels different in your 40s. In my 30s, freedom meant hustle, trying to keep up with the Joneses, climbing your corporate ladder. But in my 40s, freedom means peace, slower mornings, taking care of myself, creative autonomy, and just doing whatever the heck I want. The eighth thing no one told me about being child free in my 40s is travel is easier. Solo child free travel means I can plan trips exactly how I want and when I want. As a result, my trips are usually off peak, less crowded, logistically easier, and at my own pace and budget. The ninth thing no one told me about being child free in my 40s is I get to redefine success. Without kids or partners, success isn't measured by milestones. It's measured by how aligned my life feels. And the only mile markers or comparisons I make are to previous versions of myself. The 10th thing no one told me about being child free in my 40s, and perhaps one of the most important, is you become the example. No one told me I'd be the one documenting this path. But now, as the retired millennial, I'm sharing what child free, solo retirement really looks like. So the next person will have just a little bit more insight than I did. So those are the 10 things no one told me about being child free in my 40s. Some are practical, some are emotional, but all of them shape the way I live today. So if you're child free, solo, or just questioning the traditional path, I hope this gives you a glimpse of what's possible. And just so you know, being child free in your 40s isn't about missing out. It's about designing a life that fits you. And for me, that meant retiring early, living solo, and embracing freedom. I'll keep sharing more of this journey, so if you want to see what child free, solo retirement really looks like, stick around. Thank you so much.
Bloqueamos a bunch, everybody. Bye.